what I really want to illustrate with this video, guys, is that this is an evolving process, right? I think a lot of new investors hold themselves back from starting new projects or new endeavors because they're scared they don't have the perfect system or process in place.
This is just a list of pretty much everything you expect in a renovation. Here's me marking a shim. I have a laser level shot out, and then I draw a line on that piece of wood. And then I raise each leg on these cabinets so that the line is exactly level.
I know there's so much confusion and analysis paralysis with new investors when it comes to, what's it going to cost? How long is it going to take? Who should I hire?
What is up, YouTube? Matt McKeever here, and in today's video, we're going to be catching up with Tom, the contractor who works on my apartment buildings, and we're going to dive deep into one of our kitchen renovations. Tom's going to share with you kind of the timelines involved with doing these kitchens, as well as the cost that we incur when renovating one of the kitchens in our apartment building. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Smash the like button, hit subscribe, and let us know what other videos you guys would like with Tom, but let's jump into it.
All right, guys, we're back with Tom now, and I'm really excited for today's video because we're going to dive deep into the renovation numbers, specifically around the kitchen, but I'm sure we'll even cover a few other things. So, hey, Tom, how's it going?
Pretty good, you?
Good. All right, so you've got a screen share up. Let's pull that up and dive deep into the numbers because I know there's a lot of people that love diving into those numbers when it comes to our renovation budgets.
All right, so this is what I do for most of my projects. I go in here and I measure the whole unit, and then I go on floorplanner.com, I think it is, and then I basically just put in all the dimensions, and then I design the little picture here, and then it shows the whole unit, and then you can quickly look at it and see the layout of the whole unit. It's pretty easy to use the software. You just draw lines and add doors and everything, and it just makes it more visual, so then you can even use that picture when you're renting it and just show everybody. So this is a typical unit at Victoria. You go in, there's usually a big living room and then a kitchen. This wall has to remain there because there's a boiler system for heat, and so there's a big heater there, so we can't remove that. And then you go down the hallway, and then you have two bedrooms. Each bedroom has a closet and a window. And then you got your bathroom here with a 5-foot bathtub, and then just your toilet and vanity and these closets. Most of the time, we've been turning this closet into a laundry closet. So we've been running electrical from the panel there, and then hooking up the plumbing there, and then venting it out in the ceiling above there. But this is I didn't actually do plumbing or the laundry for this unit. This is one of the first units we did for you guys.
Sure.
Later, but we'll just go through all the numbers. Basically, I kind of make a rough estimate of how much I think it's going to cost to do the work, and then later I go back and I fill in the actual, because I keep track of how many hours we worked and the work notes of what got done. We did demo, painting, started flooring, all on the different days. And then I keep track of the daily expenses, dump fees. I purchased $3,600 in flooring. And this is just how I organize my jobs, which makes it really handy just to go back and see which work got done on which day and how much money I spent on each day. So this is just a list of pretty much everything you expect in a renovation. And I just go through each one, and then I figure out if I need that item. Since there's no windows to replace, it's just zero. And then I just go and make a rough estimate of how much I think it's going to cost for each job. So,
are there any big variances here
between the units, or
like with this project? Was there any big surprises that stood out, or?
Not really. I think painting that took more than I was expecting, just because I think this is one of the first units I did. Painting and nail hole filling and painting trim takes a lot longer than people expect, so it just took longer there.
All those little details, yeah.
But flooring's pretty easy to calculate because it's just $2 a square foot. Countertops were a bit more than I was expecting, and then I didn't know about backsplashes in this one. And then general labor is kind of hard to calculate sometimes because that includes all the setup and cleanup and just random stuff you have to have guys do, just moving the flooring and moving stuff, and it all adds up for time. So that's one of the rougher things to try to estimate on some jobs, just general labor, because sometimes stuff just takes longer and it takes longer to clean and all this other stuff. So this unit, there's no framing. This unit, we just had to replace one door. So we just got one door from North Bolt Trim. I think for some reason, I think I forgot to update the plumbing on this unit because there's no way. It was just box and nothing on there. Electrical was $1,200. Electrical fixtures are over here on.
And what would that consist of?
So each room got a new LED light. So there's 6 lights or something like that, and then we update all the switches to Decora. So each unit has a whole bunch of outlets and switches, and then we get a new panel too because the old unit has the old fuses. So we update that. And plumbing is usually just hooking up just the sinks. I don't think we added a dishwasher to this unit. This is one of the first. We added dishwashers later to all the units. And then some other plumbing might be just hooking up the vanity. So the plumbing is not too bad in these units. But it's still like at least $500 to get a plumber to come out and fix up stuff.
Okay, and then so what did the total project add up to here?
My estimate was around 10. We came in around 14. I would add a little bit more for appliances because I didn't. That was the property manager or somebody else that bought all those. So we're at like I would say between 15 and 20 grand is how it's usually go. So we're at labor 7,400. Materials 6,000. It's like some of the bigger expenses were the cabinets, so I estimated $1,500 for cabinets. It came in at $1,788, and then countertops were $1,000. A couple other big ones here: $500 paint, $1,400 flooring, the electrical. Yeah, and then this is sometimes I have a list of just the scope of work.
Yeah, walk us through that if you don't mind.
So I have some of this is just questions too, because I ask you guys, am I putting in a vent hood or am I putting in a backsplash? So those are just questions I can ask you guys when we go over this. So basically, demo, remove carpet, garbage, cabinets. Was it completed? Yep, it was completed on the 22nd of May. New flooring got finished on the 1st of June, and then we have to install the new quarter round after the flooring. So that got done the next day. And then we got paint throughout, kitchen cabinet install. This has all been done. I guess that's not big. Calling the plumber, the vent hood. There was already existing vents, but they were in the ceiling, so I didn't know if I was going to add one above the stove. We eventually been adding the above range microwaves, which has the vents also in that. The electrical definitely got done. Dome lights got done. Closet door, and then backsplash. We installed that. New door handles. We got that, and then we got that as well. And I guess there's like cleanup and finish and everything, but that's just the rough scope of work. And then I have all the labor hours for everybody, what got done, what got spent on each day. And then this eventually had different units in this same spreadsheet. So like we're in unit 13 and unit.
You moved on, yeah.
So I just added everything to this list just for have everything in one spot. But eventually each unit should have something similar to this, just so it's easier to keep track of expenses and everything. And ideally, you have a credit card that we now have a company credit card that I use. It's a lot easier for me just to only use that, and then I can update another spreadsheet. We have it set up that someone transfers over the whole bill onto a spreadsheet, and then I just go in afterwards and put in which project each bill was used for, which makes accounting a lot easier for you guys, because once you start having all these billings, you need some sort of accounting organization to keep track, because sometimes I use a credit card for a couple different jobs. So it's all about organizing for all you accountants to make sure everything adds up.
I think what I really want to illustrate with this video, guys, is that this is an evolving process, right? I think a lot of new investors hold themselves back from starting new projects or new endeavors because they're scared they don't have the perfect system or process in place, right? But we actually you got to get started at some point in time. So you start a spreadsheet, you start filling it out, right? You start learning processes and like, okay, I didn't like the way this spreadsheet worked this time. So next time we'll make a slightly different spreadsheet. We'll track a few more things. Maybe we'll have someone double check the spreadsheet. So again, I just thought it'd be great to show essentially one of the first renovations that Tom did on our team and in that apartment building, and just kind of show you guys, the basic tracking process that we used. I think with time, we've continued to layer on more processes and systems, more employees have joined and things of that nature as well. And I'm sure down the road, we'll maybe even be looking towards technology components to add. But the key is getting started and just documenting and tracking your progress, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. So we're going to walk through in depth exactly what one of our kitchen renovations look like. We've got a time-lapse video for you as well. Tom will really dive deeper into some of the numbers and some of the processes behind flipping around one of our kitchens in our apartment units. And again, thanks, Tom.
All right, so this is me tearing out the old kitchen piece by piece. Having a good sawzall makes it really handy to take out all these old cabinets. This one, I think I was just working by myself on these ones. So it takes a little longer when you're just working by yourself, because you have to move everything yourself and all that. But and then when you're installing new cabinets, it's very important that everything is level and square. So I use a laser level. Here's me marking a shim. I have a laser level shot out, and then I draw a line on that piece of wood, and then I raise each leg on these cabinets so that the line is exactly level. And that makes sure that your entire cabinet's perfectly level, and then you always just test it with the actual level to make sure it's perfectly level. And then this is just me doing the layout for the dishwasher and all that. And now I'm screwing everything to the studs. It's very important that you screw cabinets to the actual studs. You can find plenty of pictures of people's kitchens falling on them, all the dishes and everything just falling out on the floor because they didn't screw it to the actual cabinets. So this is me figuring out the layout of where the upper cabinets go. And with cabinets, everything has to line up visually. So the bottom cabinet lines up perfectly with the top one. And then to install a cabinet, you figure out where the studs are, and then you pre-drill on the back of your cabinets, and then that'll give you the hole for your screw. So then you raise it up, and you already have your hole where the screw goes, and then you just screw it in to make sure it's level, and then you just go down the line. First one is you always screw the cabinets together so that their faces are flush. So they look good. It's always good to have a helper to hold the one side while you screw the cabinets together. And once the cabinets are screwed together that way, then you can screw it to the back wall because the back wall is never perfectly straight. So you don't want to screw your cabinets right to the back wall because it could bend the gap in between the cabinets. So that's why you screw your cabinets together first. And then once again, you just measure over to find your stud, drill the hole through the back of your cabinet, and then you just raise it up, screw it together, and screw it to the back wall. So relatively simple process, but there's just lots of tricks and and techniques to make it go quicker and smoother. And like you can use a clamp to hold the cabinets together to make sure that they don't move when you screw it. And then you just make sure it's level. Once again, using laser level, we're a little easy here because we have a bulkhead just above the cabinet. So that's basically as high as the cabinets are going to go. But if that wasn't there, I would shoot a laser level on the top line of all the cabinets. And when I'm installing them, you just have them all line up on that laser level. So if you're installing cabinets, I would say you need a laser level, and you need either a stud finder or be able to find the studs. And then everything from there, it's pretty easy. And then you need to use 3-inch particle screws, screw them to the wall, and 1 1/4 screws to screw the cabinets together. And those are all particle screws. They're just designed to go through particle board, which these cabinets are made. You don't want to use drywall screws or wood screws or anything like that. And yeah, you always install them without the doors and without the shelves. It just makes everything lighter. And then you go back after they're all installed, and then you can install all the doors and everything. And yeah, that's how you install cabinets. There you go.
Awesome, Tom. Well, really appreciate you just kind of showing us how you actually go about doing one of our kitchen renovations, as well as diving deeper into the numbers behind the entire project. I know there's so much confusion and analysis paralysis with new investors when it comes to, what's it going to cost? How long is it going to take? Who should I hire? So hopefully videos like these guys are just helping shine a little bit more light into these dark corners of real estate investing where you've got a lot of questions but can't seem to find a lot of answers. Really appreciate you coming back on the show, Tom. And a quick reminder, guys, we are always looking to hire on the team. So if you're interested in getting in contact and working with Tom on our apartment project, we're going to throw a link in the video description down below. You can jump over, get in contact with them. Really encourage you guys, if you're interested in working with us, to do so. Again, just really appreciate it, Tom.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me. It's been a lot of fun.
Thanks, guys, for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, smash that like button, hit subscribe if you're new to my channel, and let me know what other videos, what other aspects of the day-to-day operations would you guys like to see in regards to my apartment buildings. Let us know in that comment section down below. I'd love to get your perspective, and we'd love to make more content on the subject. We just need your input.